Thanks so much to Broken Sleep Books for publishing my pamphlet, and I think it looks absolutely lovely. There's a theme running through the pamphlet to do with the heart and what it represents, including loss, longing and healing. And most of the poems mention the heart or have a heart metaphor. So I'm going to read 8 poems, starting with one called Winter's Story. And this was mostly written on the train when I used to commute to London pre-COVID. Winter's Story. High-rise lights are swallowed by night. Station lamps planetary in blackness. Platforms sacrifice themselves to cold. Windows are mirrors to a self who lives in glass, in broken moments, inventing a narrative for the time that's lost. When trees are dusk streams and voices a distant hum, earth draws the sky around herself, a scarf beaded with stars, the simplest things she knows. I sift the day through tired thoughts, let it drift, live on the edges of things, lightly tethered to the lip of the world. Sorrow unbuttons her throat, throws her white coat on the ground. The air is naked sadness. Nothing remains untouched by her skin. She gives me snow, abandons herself from cloud. I know she wants to show me the opposite of warmth, the end of love. I walk home with uncertain feet, fingers cold. Slabs of ice splintering over patches of pavement. In this glittering, I am young, forget how broken I've become. Waking to another slow, dark morning, I count the days that run away like children. After you're gone, I scour dead light, coded impulses hurtling through blood-dark space. Island suns that broadcast their lonely semaphore. My heart's a pulsar sweeping the night, warm breath on cold glass, condensing to gas clouds, constellations. I search until the stars switch off and the shore of sky weathers your bones to dust. So the ending to this next poem was partly inspired by the fact that the moon is getting further from the earth at the rate of a few centimetres per year. It's called Moon Song. At night, she's a lidless eye, watching our dreams, projected onto windows, walls. She enters our arenas of fear, of large and small spaces, immeasurable heights and falling. She knows the destitute, the homeless, feels their dust-cold shivers in her empty seas, drips her thought tears on midnight, all-night drunks, sings with them their songs, silently, silverly. She longs for foxes to shadow her rocks, stuttering moths and shape-shifting bats to shelter in her craters. Sometimes she sees her face drowning in water, as if contorted in a circus mirror. It's then she catches sight of the blackness at her back she's slowly falling into, and she knows what it means to die, to grieve for Earth's dark beating heart. The next poem is about not being able to sleep, and it's called Hollow Hours. Against the backdrop of memory, spotlights zigzag up cliffs of darkness, weathered by thoughts that tailspin down tunnels of night. Lit up like rain and headlights, each circles the full moon, a dying month. Behind its face, this curdling blackness where images pattern the dark, brief as sparklers. Sleep, locked out, whines like a tethered dog. Gloom stretches me on its rack until the sun's long fingers untie my wrists, conjure illusions of light, make me forget. This one's called Little Compton, and Little Compton is a place in Surrey where you'll find Watts Cemetery Chapel, which is described as a red brick arts and crafts masterpiece. Little Compton. I'll stash the old cassette, that soundtrack you made me, in my heart. I'll rest my heart on the bench of stone in the terracotta chapel, where we sat in its circular silence, read about a monument to love. I'll shrink the chapel down so it fits on my palm, tie it to a rock, row a boat out to the Surrey Lake. As I reach out, offer the chapel to its waters, its skin will shudder and break, then heal the wound it makes. The little chapel will sink to its bed, and years of lake will rock my heart to sleep, and my heart will dream of your music unspooling from its tape. Days like these. It's days like these, the first to gather a harvest of sun, that I need to forget, just lie down. I need the ticking of leaves to echo in my ribcage, for brambles to cut your face from my eyes. I need to stitch up the hole with threads of breeze, cauterize the wound with ageless light. I need the buzz of newly woken bees to seize your name from my tongue, for the sky to mend my foolish heart. This one was written after an extremely heavy downpour of rain. It's called Imminence. Nothing right now is louder than rain, as if all the pebbles from Brighton Beach have catapulted from the sky, each one hitting the bullseye of a thought. Each thought like a fragile glass, each rim circled by a licked finger, waves resonating into one repeating wordless sound. Under its weight, leaves mouth their hymn, struck by stony drops, hold out tongues in communion. And as the seed of a blackbird's prayer begins to grow, it's snatched by a river cascading down the roof of the house, diving from its gutters. My reflection wavers from a watery otherworld, submerged, unreal, signals like a deep sea diver. And I'll finish with the final poem from the pamphlet, Between Cloud. There's a broken sky, a ragged arc inside banks of stratocumulus. Shadow black houses hide their hearts, their hurt. The split horizon lifts me up, leaf light, and nothing matters except the blue glow line suturing the sky, and how my body has finally healed the wounds of loss, and grief is sleeping, curled up in the gap between clouds.